everybody. I am Coach Rebecca Smith, and I'm coming to you today with 3 quick tips for getting motivated to do something that scares you. I'm sure we all have something that we really want. What is it that you want? What is that goal that you're like, ooh, that would be awesome, but yikes, like that's kind of scary. For gymnasts, for figure skaters, for cheerleaders, like it's probably like a big skill or a big level or a big meet or something that just like makes you a little like, oh my goodness, that would be cool, but that's a little out of my comfort zone. And you might feel like, oh, you're kind of dragging your feet about it or you're avoiding it. I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do that can just get a little fire under your butt and make it feel a little more possible. So, number 1, make a decision that you're going to do it and then stop thinking about it. So, this makes me think about when I was, gosh, this was like a long time ago. I did a whole bunch of personal growth stuff and leadership training. And one of the things we did was a ropes course. And if any of you guys have done a ropes course, it's like all these up high ropes and climbing and jumping off trees and catching trapezes and just like a bunch of scary stuff. And it's scary on purpose because the whole point is to kind of get you out of your comfort zone. And there was this one thing where you had to climb up this, I don't know, 50-foot tree that was lopped off at the top and it was about like the size of a small, like big cake plate, small dinner plate at the top. And it had these little metal staples put in so you could climb up it. So basically, you're supposed to climb up this 50-foot tree, stand on something the size of a little plate, then jump off and catch a trapeze. And so the gymnast in me was like, I know I can do this physically. I know I can get up there and I can balance, but the scared gymnast in me was like, I don't like heights, and that's terrifying. And so I was like, you know what? I'm here to get the most out of this. I want to push myself, like, let's do it. So I basically was like, I'm doing it. And then they were like, who wants to go first? My hand shot up. I was like, I'm going. And I literally was up that tree before I could even have a second thought about it. Climbed up, got up on that. I remember so clearly. This was like 15 years ago, or I don't even know. I'm terrible at math on the spot. But I'm standing up there and like it basically, I realized when I got up there what I had just done. And I just leapt. I grabbed that trapeze and like, the crowd went wild. But it was one of those moments where I was like, I cannot think about this or the gremlins are going to come in. And that's what happens. If I would have stood there and been like, I don't know, I'm not sure, that's when uncertainty comes. That's when you start to think about what could go wrong. And thinking about all the times when I was afraid of heights or basically all the what ifs. So if you just go before you have a chance to think about it, it's done. And then the amazing thing about it is that fear that you're feeling in anticipation, that's getting basically miracle grow on it by the amount of what ifs or imagining the worst case scenario. That's all made up in your mind. And once it's over, like once I grabbed that trapeze and then I let go and they pulled me back to the ground, it was exhilarating. I was so proud of myself. To this day, that is crystallized in my memory as something that made me grow, and that fear was gone. So if you know that, like, yeah, I'm doing it. Yes, it's okay to be scared. Go. Just like, boom, go. Leap. Like take a breath and leap. So that's number 1. Make a decision that you're going to do it and then stop thinking about it and just get it done. Now, if you don't have the luxury of doing it right away, like in this exact moment, then the best thing to do is to figure out some strategies to stop thinking. Now, if you like basically trying to stop your thinking is like trying to stop a wave. It's going to happen. Thinking is going to keep coming. Thoughts are going to come. So here are a couple of things you can do to ignore the thoughts. Basically just get yourself in the moment. Because again, the what ifs are in the future. Or if you think about what went wrong in the past, you're in the past. If you're in this moment right here, everything's okay. If I was standing there next to that big tree, I could have been looking down at the ground at all the, foliage. I could have felt my feet on the ground. I could have moved my feet a little and heard the crunch, crunch, crunch of the leaves. So that can get you in the moment. And then also meditation. Now, meditation might sound like, oh, that sounds kind of intense. Well, if you're not familiar with it, but if you just do something as simple as redirect your thinking to the present moment. That's meditation. So if you're going into what if land and then you come back to your breathing, which is happening right now, that's you just meditated. If you're thinking about the past and then you take a breath and feel it come and go, you're back in the moment. That's meditation. It can be that simple. And then there's one little meditation that I love to do that like meditation for a long time was very hard for me because I'm like such a thinker and a worrier and like too smart for my own good sometimes and get myself all psyched out. One of my favorite meditations is a balloon meditation where you imagine that every thought that comes is going into a balloon in your mind. So you sort of have this image of a blue sky above, and then you're kind of just breathing, imagining the blue sky. And then anytime a thought crosses your mind, you imagine putting it in a balloon. For me, the balloons are always red. They can be whatever color you want. And then on the balloon is the title of it, like worry, what if, planning, and whatever sort of, you can kind of just label the thought however is appropriate. And then you let go of the balloon in your mind and you watch it drift up into that blue sky, up, 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 up. And it keeps going and it keeps going and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And some of them are really persistent and they just keep getting smaller, but you can still see them. And then finally, they disappear. And it's just you in a blue sky again. And then you might have a whole bunch of balloons at once. You might have 7 thoughts at once. And then you have this whole bunch of balloons. You let it go. And it drifts up. And you're back to a clear blue sky again. So those are a couple quick tips of how to stop the thinking. Now, number 2 is to get excited. So the second way that you can get motivated to do something that scares you is to get excited about it. Now, when you are freaking out, you have a high energy level. You're jittery, you might be a little tense, your breathing sort of speeds up, your heart's starting to pound, your energy is high. Now, if somebody tells you, calm down, it's not so easy to take a very high energy physiological situation and then just be like, oh, turn the volume down, calm down. Not so simple. I mean, those meditation, getting present, those are some things that can help, but a much quicker way to get yourself motivated again is to get excited, because that's also high energy, but it's positive high energy rather than negative high energy. So if you're in this high energy, you want to take it to, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so fun. I am so good at grabbing trapezes. I'm such a good climber. Oh my gosh, let me up there. I don't want to wait one more second to do this. And there's a research study that I reference all the time. It's called Get Excited. And the whole point of this study was to just check out, okay, what's the difference in performance that happens when you are nervous, when you're excited, or neutral? So they split this group of people into 3 different groups. One group was supposed to do these scary tasks like singing karaoke in front of a judge and taking a math test and playing a video game. They were supposed to do those 3 tasks while thinking, I'm so nervous, I'm so nervous, I'm so nervous. And then they figured out how well they performed. The second group did the same 3 tasks, but they were supposed to think, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. And then they did those 3 tasks and were judged on it. And then the fourth group is supposed to think about some control thing, like something neutral, like chili cheese fries. And then they did their 3 tasks. And then when they got the scores back, the group that did the worst was the nervous group. They did significantly worse than either of the 2 groups. The group that did the best was the excited group. And then, the other group was somewhere in the middle. So it's been proven that just switching your thinking from I'm so nervous to I'm excited can completely change your ability to perform well. So you're scared, you probably want to do well, get excited. All right, the third quick tip for getting yourself to do something that you're afraid of is to start small and aim big. Okay, so you've got this big, scary, meaty goal ahead of you that's like, ooh, gives you the 4 out of 5 on the impossible scale wiggles, right? Start with something little. Maybe the first thing you want to do is climb up a little tree. I am all about baby steps. Everybody in Perform Happy knows I am all about baby steps. Not doing this all or nothing thing. That if you take baby steps, you start to get used to it and you start to go, oh, I am actually good at this. this is not that scary. This is not that hard. You have more of those experiences of going, "Ooh, I'm so nervous." And then it's over and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Oh, that wasn't so bad." And then you start to gather up all this motivation and momentum and you're like, "Hey, I can totally do this. Yes, it's still scary. Yes, I'm still going to need to clear my mind. I'm still going to need to get excited and kind of pump myself up about it. But I've taken enough responsible, calculated risks to know that I can take a breath and leap." So hopefully you've got some little motivation out of what I said today. I would love to hear in the comments which one of these that you want to try. I know a lot of you guys are getting ready for competition, which can be scary. So make a decision, stop thinking about it, get excited, and then just set some small goals and start climbing toward that big one. And I will see you around soon. Bye.